A man in his 70s entered the bank alone and fired 2 shots, hitting 2 security guards. A security guard behind him also shot at him, but the old man was unscathed and appeared to be in no pain. He shot the security guard dead with a backhand shot, came to the elevator entrance, politely made way for the lady, and loaded the gun skillfully. The old man looked vigorous and decisive, and stepped out of the elevator. The remaining security personnel finally reached the vault. He took out an iron box containing cash, and only 1 silver coin was taken out of it. The old man put away the silver coins with a smile, and walked out of the elevator gracefully. Although the security guard at the door shot and beat the old man into a sieve, he still walked out of the bank without changing his expression or his face. Panicked passers-by run in all directions. A Maybach stopped in front of the gate, and the old man got into the car. However, the eyes of the man in the sunglasses in the car were firmer, and said nothing but tore off the old man's necklace. The old man died instantly. He broke free from the old man's hand and took away the silver coin. Actually, the silver coin has a lot of background. According to legend, this silver coin is the treasure of Jesus. His disciple Judas betrayed Jesus for silver coins, and Jesus was crucified alive. Judas later got a bag of silver coins, but in the end Judas chose to commit suicide because of guilt. Since then, 30 silver coins have been scattered all over the world. As long as there are silver coins, there will be bad luck. On the day the man in the sunglasses got the silver coin, a strange thing happened in a small town. A cow was about to give birth, surrounded by a circle of people. Unexpectedly, the cow gave birth to a human baby. The mayor heard the sound and came to visit the baby boy, but found nothing unusual. The mayor warned everyone to block the news. However, the mayor did not send the baby boy to the hospital, but visited the only priest in the town. The pastor was even weirder, with muscles all over his body and stubble all over his face. When the priest heard it, he couldn't believe it and asked someone to retrieve the surveillance video. The priest took a look and said that the beggar in the surveillance was sneaky and must have replaced the calf with a baby boy. That night, the beggar stole the baby boy, ran to the roof, tried to throw the baby boy to death, muttered the spell in the Bible. The priest hurriedly led people to dissuade him, but he didn't listen to the advice at all, and said that the baby boy was a devil and a disaster. Seeing that the situation was not good, Jenny stepped forward to dissuade him. After the performance, the beggar handed over the baby. However, the beggar jumped down, and everyone was dumbfounded. Later, Jenny asked the old lady to raise the baby boy, and the old lady found a silver coin beside the beggar. The old lady found Jenny the next day, thanked the hostess for letting her raise the baby boy, and tried her best to persuade her to see the baby boy, but this visit disappointed Jenny. The cow's eyes widened in pain, and a human baby was born. This is not surprising. Strangely, in less than 3 days, the baby grew to 1.6 meters, with pale skin and wrinkled body. Jenny was terrified, but the old lady who adopted her was extremely happy. In order to supplement protein for the baby, she cut some liver for her to eat, added some milk and squeezed it into juice. Her husband, however, was horrified. When the old lady heard this, her face changed drastically. "Is this trying to snatch my child?" Just as the husband was about to go out, he saw his wife making a toy for the baby, a spider with a human head attached to it, and the old lady desperately explained. But the husband didn't listen, and the old lady's face darkened immediately, and directly stabbed her husband to death. At this time, Jenny told the mayor what she saw at the old lady's house. The mayor thinks she is talking nonsense. When the two walked to the door of the old lady's house, they were stunned by the scene. The house is like a coiled hole, covered with cobwebs, and her husband's body was also hung in the middle. At the moment when the heroine was in a daze, the mayor covered her mouth. At this time, the old lady came out and said, "You want to take the child away from me too?" Before the mayor answered, the old lady poked the mayor again, and the two ran out desperately, but the seriously injured mayor was caught by the old lady. Jenny panicked, since she wasn't her opponent, and hurried back to ask for help. The old lady closed the door and hung the mayor up too. Jenny came with the priest and the police, and the old lady saw the priest as if she saw an acquaintance. Before the priest could speak, the old lady punched him hard, and then her voice changed. The pastor knocked the old lady to the ground. Obviously, the old lady was bewitched. In desperation, the police had no choice but to shoot her. Soon, the mayor and the old lady were sent to the ambulance. The old lady in the ambulance sat up suddenly, and sat directly in front of the mayor's wife, then took out the doll, chanted a spell, and suddenly a huge spider appeared outside. In desperation, the driver of the ambulance turned upside down instantly, and opened the trunk door. The old lady said strangely, "My son came to save me," and ran into the jungle. On the other side, Jenny and the priest hurried to the church, preparing for a fierce battle. He's the weirdest priest in town. The other priests are baptized by the Bible, but he boxed every day. He also has various weapons. Something's moved outside. The priest walked out of the secret room, and the chairs in the church began to shake. The old woman walked up to the priest and asked the priest to hand over the silver coins. Before the priest finished speaking, the priest was punched 40 meters away. Jenny rushed over. With a big wave of the old lady's hand, she was knocked down in an instant and climbed into the secret room in a panic. The old lady asked her, "Where are the silver coins?" Jenny was terrified to the extreme and subconsciously took out the silver coins. Just then the priest caught the old woman and threw her out. Then he crawled to the holy water and cast a spell on the bullet. Just as the old lady took out the doll, the priest shot her. When the priest picked up the old lady's body and left, Jenny saw something even more terrifying. A huge humanoid spider crawled in front of her. It seems to be the baby boy raised by the old lady, and she saw the doll and tore it to pieces with her last breath. This seemed to be a remote control that could control the monster, and the monster made a painful sound and ran away. When the priest settled down, the old lady told Jenny that she was not dead, but was fired with a blank bomb, which scared away the dirt on her body. Jenny has collapsed several times because this bizarre thing is unacceptable for her. The priest asked her to give him the silver coin, but she had no intention of giving. The priest was very helpless. He vaguely felt that a new crisis was approaching Jenny.